So today I'm going to be demonstrating how to give your own allergy shots. Now, usually your provider will go over all of this with you and they'll show you in the office how to do it. But just for anybody who needs a refresher on the technique, or if you're thinking about doing allergy shots and think, oh, well, gee, I don't know if I can do that. This will just kind of show you how simple it really is. It is something that you can do yourself. If your provider thinks that it's right for you to be able to get allergy shots outside of the office, they'll usually pretty much always start off giving them in the office, and then at some point, if they think it's safe enough, they may instruct you on how to do it yourself. But if it's something that you're concerned about, I'm going to just kind of show you how simple this really is. Now, in my case, I've got 2 vials because of the different things that I'm allergic to. Some people, they're only allergic to certain things. They may be able to get all of their allergens in 1 vial, or sometimes they may need 3 vials, just depending on what you personally are allergic to. Now, in my case, I keep track of each shot that I take, keep a record of that. I'm on a certain schedule as to when I'm supposed to take them or how frequently. So here I've got my 2 vials, and these are maintenance vials. They're ones I've been on a while and built up to a certain dose. Now, one of the most important things, and this is something I want to stress for anybody who's like been doing these a while and kind of maybe lost their proper technique and habits. The most important thing when you're doing something like this, and this goes also for people who do anything else like insulin for diabetics at home, is to make sure that everything is clean, sanitary. You want to use sterilizing alcohol swabs and so forth. The last thing you want to do is to inject some potentially dangerous bacteria from the environment into your skin, or under your skin, or whichever. These, I've got the appropriate size syringes as suggested by the doctor. So I get these from the pharmacy. The needle is already sterile when it comes in this package. It's sealed, it's capped, but the tops of these vials are exposed, and so they can pick up germs and they need to be cleaned, and my skin needs to be cleaned to ensure that there's no contamination. Now, I always keep track of which arm I do these in. This one's labeled 2D and this one's 1D, and we've been doing so there I left them in the box in the order that I do them. Vial 2D in the left arm, vial 1D in the right arm. Do this, take this little alcohol swab, I'll clean the top of this vial. So I want no contamination with any germs or anything. And then where I'm going to inject this is, it goes into the skin, so it's not that precise, but to get the most comfortable and easiest stick that I can, I want to aim for this crease between sort of the tricep here and the deltoid up here. There's kind of a crease between those 2 muscles. That's kind of where I want to try to aim. Now, some people find it easier to do a different location, but that's where I do it, because it's simple, and to me it's not hard to reach. If you have difficulty, you may be able to use an alternate site. So I'm going to take the cap carefully off of this needle and make sure the plunger is all the way up to the top. I'll invert the vial so that the allergy extract is all at the bottom, and then this top actually has like a rubber stopper that you can stick the needle straight through it and up into that extract. The dose that I use is 0.5 milliliters, which is basically this full syringe here. So I like to make sure there's no bubbles in there. And then I'll draw it up a little bit and then push it back out to get rid of any bubbles. And then I'll go up the rest of the way.
Are you going to tell
So there's the 0.5 milliliters. No? So I'm kind of buying that. Anyway, don't mess up my video. So now I've got the full dose there. And the hardest part, to me at least, is mental, just getting over the idea of sticking a needle into yourself. For some people that's easier than for others. Now with this needle, I don't know if you can see it from there, but if you look carefully, I can see that it's beveled on one side. And so, ideally for comfort, I'll turn that bevel so that it points up. And that's where it'll slide in the best. And I want to put it in at like a 45-degree angle. I don't want to flex or tighten up. I want to just relax. Just rest it right there on that clean skin. Gently push it in. Once it's in, I want to push this plunger in.
I've always wondered if you ever feel the liquid
Pull it out.
going in.
Just a little bit. If you're afraid of that needle hurting, as big as that needle looks, I hardly felt it at all when it slid in.
Yeah.
And I actually felt just a slight stinging as I injected it, but very minor. I've been scared of needles for years, and
That's exactly what
I was able to get over it to do this.
That's what I was saying. You're going to tell them that
Oh,
why
it
you
was
were
like-
scared.
That I'm scared of needles.
Well,
Yes, I'm scared of needles.
I
And
know.
if I can do it, then you can probably learn to do this as well, if that's
Does it
what's appropriate for you.
Does it basically feel like a flu shot?
I don't know, hard to say. I've had flu shots that felt different. Depending on who gave them, I've had flu shots that I really hardly felt it at all.
The flu shot I remember having, it felt like someone pinched a little bit, but then it went away.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other arm. I want it good and clean, so I'm not contaminating it with any kind of bacteria going into the skin. It's all exactly the same thing on the other side. Now I like to pull a little bit and then make sure, maybe push it back to make sure there's no bubbles, if I can, or as little as I can possibly get. And then draw it all the way up to the full dose. Which in this case is 0.5 milliliters. And with my schedule, if I missed one or something and had to go back, I could look at how many units to go back, but in this case I'm just doing the full 5. Now these extracts are kept in the refrigerator, so as soon as I'm done with this, I put them back in their little case and return them to storage in the refrigerator. This one, other arm, but it's the same technique. At the top of that needle, turn the bevel up. Find the spot where I want to stick it right between that little crease right there. Just gently push it in at about a 45-degree angle. Push the plunger in slowly. At least I find it's better to do it kind of slowly. you find that it bleeds a little bit, you may want to stick a little Band-Aid on it. But a lot of times it doesn't. It may not even be necessary. Pull that back out. And there it
My friend
is.
is so confusing, Daddy.
Always make sure that you dispose of your needles properly. You get a sharps container for these at home, or people put them in a plastic jug if you don't have a sharps container. But you definitely want to make sure that they are safely disposed of, so that you're not posing a risk for children or someone who may get a hold of them and get poked. Because once this has been out, if someone were to find it after it's been laying around, there's definitely an opportunity for bacteria from the environment to get on there, as well as anything that was in your system to have contaminated that syringe needle. And you just don't want to take that risk, so make sure that you dispose of them properly. That is basically all that there is to it. As you would if you were in an office, you observe for any side effects for 20 or 30 minutes to make sure that you're not having any unusual reaction. And usually the doctor will make sure that you have appropriate medication on hand.
Yeah,
if you're doing these at home.
We have the medication. We have medication.
Of course.
We have the EpiPen and everything.
And I've never experienced any reaction that would indicate that there might be a problem, but you always want to have appropriate precautions ready, as it's better to have those things and not need them than to need it and not have it. But as you can see, that's actually really quite simple. Just finish in recording the dose that was used, the date, which vials went into which arm, as I normally do, what dose was used, was 0.5 milliliters each. I used the same, put them in the same vials in the same arms as I've been doing. So I'll mark down all that information on my chart and keep track of what dose was used when and so forth. So that's all there is to that.